Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jenny. Good morning.
What is that?
Get that out there.
What is that?
Get that off.
I don't know what it is.
You
They
do
can't
know what it
see
is.
that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I want it off. It's
Shannon's trying to
distracting.
distract you.
It is very distracting, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So, as long as I get to talk about the GOAT and the phony GOAT today, I am good. And I got some ammo for you.
All I know is the real GOAT got a ring.
Yeah.
Got a ring in 2020.
Oh, this cubic zirconium. Okay, yeah. Good.
You gotta
No,
stop that
that's
hate
not how
stuff.
it works when you win a championship. Shannon may be trying to distract Skip this morning, but we have a lot to talk about, and let's get to it. Despite the Buccaneers signing Antonio Brown when they already had two returning 1,000-yard receivers, their position coach believes there are plenty of targets to go around. The Bucs receivers coach told reporters, quote, "There's one football, and Tom does a great job at distributing the football." But according to the numbers, Bucs three-time Pro Bowl receiver Mike Evans is on track for the fewest targets of any season of his career and has been targeted on just 16% of his routes run. And it's important to consider that AB still hasn't been fully integrated into the offense yet. So Shannon, will Antonio Brown be the undoing of the Bucs?
Skip, bringing AB in was always going to be a risk to the wide receiver room. Mike Evans is already feeling that he's not getting fed enough, so you bring another mouth in to feed, he's going to get even less food to eat. And so he's not pleased about that. I don't give a damn what that wide receiver coach says. I'm telling you how wide receivers think, Skip, how they're wired. Because as Jenny read, now, Skip, here's the thing. Jenny said he's getting 16% of the targets. That's fine if that was number one on his team. That's not even number one on his team. He's getting the 12th fewest targets of anybody in the NFL that's qualified with the number of routes that they run. So he's not pleased with that. Jenny read, he's a three-time Pro Bowl player. And at the beginning of the season, if somebody would say, I give you Stephon Diggs or I give you Mike Evans, more times than not, they're going to take Mike Evans. Stephon Diggs leads the NFL in targets with 91. He has 39 more than Mike Evans. Mike Evans isn't pleased about that, but I already see what the narrative is. They tried to blame this on AB already. I'm not going to let y'all do that. I'm not going to let, because if the Bucs don't get to their ultimate destination and win, it's AB's fault. Well, when they lost to New Orleans the first game, was that AB's fault? When they lost to Chicago, was that AB's fault? Hell, he wasn't even eligible to play. And y'all want to flip that and blame that on AB.
Don't y'all me.
Yeah, you.
I didn't say it. I didn't say a word about that.
Yeah, you did. You part of it. Skip, look. Receivers feel, especially the really good ones, feel that, yes, they all want the ball, but they feel that they can do things with the ball that the other guys can't. And so Mike Evans says, okay, give me an opportunity. But what they've done, Skip, while they've decreased his targets, he has 6 touchdowns on 9 red zone targets. So there's like, okay, you know, we're trying to appease him on this one end while we're taking away from him on the other end. And Mike isn't happy about that. But Mike had to know this was going to happen. You can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. Somebody's going to step on somebody. Somebody's going to add an ingredient. Somebody's going to take something out, or somebody's going to forget to put something in. So when you have a Mike Evans, you have a Gronkowski, you have a Chris Godwin, Skip, there's only so many balls. And that's the problem. The receiver said Tom does a great job of spreading it around. Mike Evans like, I don't want it to spread around. I want you to give me, let me eat first as much as I want, and then you spread it around afterwards. Because when they had it last year, Skip, who got the target? It was he and Chris Godwin. Now we got Gronk into the mix. Gronk is an all-century player. He need to get in future. Because remember, Skip, when he wasn't getting the targets, he said, well, I came here to block. I'm fine just blocking. And all of a sudden, Gronk's targets increased. You noticed that, Skip? It sure did.
So did the wins.
Okay, I get that. But Mike Evans says, hold on, guys. I'm a team player. But I need to be the guy that's at the front of the line that's getting these targets. So it could be a problem, but you had to know bringing another mouth to feed when mouths are already saying, I'm going hungry, was going to be a problem. But the narrative that it's AB's fault, no. If they don't get to their ultimate destination, it won't be because of AB. It will be because they weren't good enough as a team. So don't start this narrative about AB, because it ain't AB.
Okay, so I'm going to re-ask Jenny's question. Will AB become the undoing of Brady's Buccaneers?
How?
Well, what do you mean how? I just asked you the question.
No.
You're saying no, so he's a good thing, right?
No, I'm not saying he's a good thing. I'm not saying he's a bad thing. The undoing might be because Tom Brady isn't good enough to get them there. How about that doing?
Okay, so your answer is on AB, you don't have an answer?
I don't have a Skip. You trying to make it. What about if Tom Brady's not good enough? What if Tom Brady plays like he played Sunday night?
Okay, I just want you to answer the question. Will AB be the undoing? I think you're saying he will not be.
No.
You're defending him.
There's nothing to Skip. What the narrative is about AB undoing. What did he undo?
6-2. Went to 6-3 with a disastrous game on Sunday Night Football.
So how did they get them to?
I'm not saying that he was the undoing. I'm just saying that's what just happened.
Yeah,
they were 6-2.
But I want to know where them 2 came from before AB.
Well, 6-2 is really good. It was at the top of the NFC.
First of all, Skip, 6-3 is good. It was just the fact that you had them at probably 8-1.
I did.
Exactly.
Well, in fact, the odds makers had them at that because they were favored to win at Chicago, and they were favored to win Sunday night by, 5.5, 6 points? Okay. So the world thought that. You picked them to win on Sunday night.
But I do not believe AB will be the undoing.
Okay. So here we go. Mike Evans. Question for Mike Evans. And I think he's really a good guy with a good heart. And the saving grace here is I don't think Mike Evans is what I would call a flat-out, all-out diva receiver. I don't get that from him. Does he have some pouty body language? Yeah, he did on Sunday night. I'll give you that. I don't think Chris Godwin is a diva wide receiver. I don't think Gronk has a lot of diva in him. So let's look at what has happened so far to Mike Evans. He leads the team with 52 targets. That's pretty good. He leads the team by far with 34 catches. That's pretty good. He leads the team by far with 437 receiving yards. And he leads the team by far with 7 touchdown catches. The next is 3. Gronk has 3.
Right.
7-3, Mike Evans.
Right.
Mike, question. Do you want targets? Do you want stats? Or do you want rings? Lots of rings from Tom Brady because he brings rings.
He's looking at us like, why can't I have both?
Okay. He's had his 3 Pro Bowls and he has no rings. And last year he was 7-9. This man who has just fallen out of heaven into all of your laps in Tampa Bay knows how to win rings because he won 6 in 9 tries and should have won 2 more if not for his coach, Bill Belichick.
Or should have lost 3 more if it wasn't for his coach, Belichick.
Okay, well, we could debate that all day, but I'm going to stand by what I see here. So what do I see that happened on Sunday night? I see that Tom Brady is doing something that my partner across the table cannot see. Tom Brady is trying to run Bruce Arians' offense. My partner says, no, he's just trying to run the Tom Brady offense.
No, Skip, that's not what I said. I say the problem that he had is because he's trying to run it. He needs to run his offense, which is nickel and dimes, not the whole dollar.
Okay. So what do we know about Tom Brady so far? My partner says he's lost a lot of arm strength and that looks like when he's throwing the football, it's like he's trying to shot put it and it barely sputters across the line of scrimmage every time he tries to throw it. That's what I get from across the table. Am I right about that? Yes, I'm right. So what do we know for sure? What do the stats tell us? Would you believe, ladies and gentlemen, that Tom Brady leads the whole National Football League, every quarterback in what's called air distance? How far the ball travels from right there, from the time it leaves your hand to the time it hits near the receiver, whether he catches it or not.
Right.
That's called air distance. Tom Brady leads every quarterback in the league with 7,347 yards of air distance. He is throwing bombs away bombs. And my partner yesterday said, well, he just can't throw it long anymore. He can't throw home runs anymore. Well, he does throw lots of deep passes that you're not giving him any credit for. And I thought just to start this off, we could see just a little quick riff of some of the balls that he has thrown. The first one happens to be to that guy, Mike Evans. This goes for 50 yards. And I'd say that qualifies as a little, that had some oomph on it. That had a little mustard on it. The second one is 48 yards to, guess who? Mike Evans on a deep ball. Nice catch, but again, that's bombs away.
Okay.
And the third one goes to a guy I raved about in the offseason you laughed at all along. And this one goes 47 yards to little Scotty Miller. I'd say that qualifies as a bomb. And the next one goes for 44 yards to little Scotty Miller. And I would say this qualifies as a home run.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And the final one goes for a touchdown to little Scotty Miller. And we all know this one because this was Tom's best throw. It was at the end of the half at Las Vegas. Hit him right on the back line of the end zone for a touchdown. I'd say that looks like a guy who's throwing lots of deep balls. And again, nobody has thrown the ball farther than Tom Brady has so far through the midway point.
And even after all those highlights you've shown, where is he his yard per attempt?
I'm just saying, who's bombs away? Who's throwing the most long balls in the league? This guy has.
Let that sink in. So when you offset it, look where he is in yards per attempt. So Skip just gave you 4 throws where he threw the 5 throws. At least he threw the ball at least 40 yards. And he's still in the bottom 15 as far as yards per attempt. Given that. So what's he doing the rest of the time, what you didn't show?
Okay, so Tom Brady had a big choice to make here at midseason. He's got this team at 6-2, which is spectacular given what he's been up against with no preseason, no OTAs, and a head coach who, frankly, is a liability. Well, he is. He's a liability. BA, as you call him, Bruce Arians. All he does that I know of is he sarcastically rips Tom Brady after losses. That's his contribution so far to this team, and it is offensive to me, and I think it's offensive to Tom Brady, but he's having to rise above that.
Can I ask you a question, Skip? You said that he has this team. Had his team at 6-2 before Sunday night. Now, you gave all the blame last year to Coach Belichick for what he didn't have. Okay,